Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp as we head into game number 4 of the NBA Finals. Tonight it is time for me to release my prop betting picks from Bovada Sportsbook. Once again, it's been a huge roller coaster ride through the first 3 games of this series. However, I think I have found 3 more prop bets tonight from the team variety that I think hold a lot of value here this evening. We'll start it off with the first quarter money line coming in tonight with the Warriors as about a -130 favorite to win the first quarter, whereas the Cavs coming in at even money at +100. Now, Cleveland has won or pushed the first quarter money line in all 3 of the first 3 games here in this series. They're 2-0-1 and winning the first quarter here, and I think that that trend will continue here tonight. I'm going with the Cleveland Cavaliers at +100 to win the first quarter. Slow starts have kind of become the norm for the Golden State Warriors here in first quarters, not only of the series, but recently. Warriors 0-4-1 in their last 5 first quarter money lines. And on top of that, in their last 12 playoff games, they're only 4-7-1, and a couple of those wins were only by 1 point. So haven't exactly been the most dominant first quarter team. They've had their times, obviously, throughout the last 12, 13 games where they've been able to dominate the first quarter against a certain team, but they've also been dominated. That Rockets quarter where they scored 45 points comes to mind as well. So I think the Cleveland Cavaliers here to win the first quarter at +100, probably a pretty solid play for game number 4 at home. Next one I have for you is the alternate game total of 199 points. It's one we tried to hit at 202.5 last game. That didn't work out because of a very low-scoring first half. However, I think things are going to turn around here. We're just getting even more value here tonight on the line of 199.5 at +170 for the over. I think both the over at 193 and 199.5 look like pretty solid wagers here's this evening. Of course, we saw 60 total points being scored between these two teams in the fourth quarter of game number 3. If that carries over along with Stephen Curry's hot shooting, which I think it will, along with the fact that the Warriors might be playing a more offensive style lineup here tonight with David Lee potentially getting some minutes at the 5 as well, I think you could see more points being scored on both ends because Warriors defense hasn't been anything spectacular so far through this series. Whereas I think Cleveland's defense, with all the injuries they've been mounting up with, as well as potentially the Warriors switching up their lineup to a little more offensive-based unit, I could see more points being scored here this evening. I'm going to go over 199 at +170. Finally, speaking of going over here tonight, I have the Cavaliers team total at 95.5 points. It was at 96.5 last game. We barely missed cashing the over on that one, despite the fact the Cavaliers had a pretty solid game. And now I think, as I said, probably going to be a little bit more offense in this series and in this game in particular. Normally, I think when series get longer, offense tends to come a little bit easier. And at 95.5 points, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers absolutely lock to go over this total here tonight at -115. Those are your team prop picks for tonight. Make sure you check out my player prop picks coming out later this afternoon, courtesy of Bovada Sportsbook. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.